We shoot over 100 billion selfies a year. What is self-esteem? It's obvious that in today's world, we are very self-conscious. The term self-esteem is used to describe a person's overall sense of self-worth or personal value. In other words, how much you appreciate and like yourself. What's the quickest way to feel bad about yourself? In many cases, it might be just looking in the mirror. Why am I so fat? Or, why am I not muscular or good-looking? Why am I not successful enough or popular enough? Let's dive into some awesome tips on how to improve your self-worth.
The most important thing, self-confidence. Without that skill, and I use the word skill intentionally, without that skill, we are useless. Because when you lose sight or belief in yourself, we're done for. I use the definition of self-confidence to be the ability or the belief to believe in yourself to accomplish any task, no matter the odds, no matter the difficulty, no matter the adversity. The belief that you can accomplish it. Self-confidence.
Focusing too much on yourself and not enough on other people will guarantee that you'll lack confidence. What do I mean? I mean, some people lack confidence because they pick themselves apart. They spend all day, every day, analyzing themselves. Why did I do this? Why don't I do that? How come I never accomplish these things? They ask lousy questions, they get lousy answers, and they create a tremendous amount of self-doubt. Do you want to have more confidence? Stop analyzing yourself so much and focus on other people and how you can contribute to them. And as you start giving to other people, you'll feel more confident about what you can even do for yourself. Does that make sense?
The easiest way to build self-confidence. There's no magic button. I can't say, hey, this plane is going down. Who can fly it? Put your hand up. I can. I'm confident. Repetition, 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 right? What does Malcolm Gladwell call it? The 10,000 hour rule? There's no magic button.
If you want to succeed, you need to rehearse over and over succeeding until it's so real for you, your brain begins to believe it. Now you'll tap more potential, you'll take better action, and in real life, you'll get better results. Then it'll reinforce your belief, and now you're off and running. Does this make sense? This is the way to create lifelong, unstoppable self-confidence. This is what I did for myself, because I was on the downward spiral. All I did was create the results in my head so vividly, I began to believe them. When I believed them, I tapped more potential, I took more action, I started to get those real results in my life. Emotionally, economically, in my relationships, in virtually every area of my life.
The problem is we expect to be self-confident, but we can't be unless the skill or the task we're doing is not novel, is not new to us. We want to be in a situation where we've had so much pressure in that, and what I mean, because pressure builds diamonds, we want to be in a situation where, hey, I've done this 1,000 times. I did my speech, and I practiced in front of the mirror. Hey, I'm sounding good. And then I read in front of my kids and my wife. I was like, oh gosh, got a little nervous. Then I get in front of Glenn Gould. Oh my goodness, I'm a little more nervous. By the time I get to the ACG, where 2,500 people, can't say anymore, right? 2,500 people, where 2,500 people are there, I won't have a single ounce of nervousness because of my ability to practice, right? Over and over and over again. The problem with repetition is, how many of us bail after the first bit of failure? How many of us fail after the first bit of adversity? Edison was on that video. And depends who you ask, there's anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 tries to build that light bulb. 1,000 to 10,000. We all have this negative self-talk that goes in our head. Guess what? There's enough people that are telling us we can't do it, that we're not good enough. Why do we want to tell ourselves that? We know for a fact that thoughts influence actions. We need to get our own self-affirmations. Muhammad Ali, what was his self-affirmation? I am the greatest. Who else is going to tell you? There need to be quiet moments in your bedroom, quiet moments when you're brushing your teeth, that we need to reaffirm, I am the captain of my ship and the master of my fate. That is my affirmation.
You can feel confident if all you do is remember some of the things you've accomplished in your life. You are a successful, competent person. You've done a lot of things in your life extremely well. No matter who you are or what your background is, there are things in this world that you are really good at, things you've really accomplished in your life that you've got to be proud of.
How do you build self-confidence? Get away from the people who will tear you down. There's enough of that. Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest. There is no one better than me. It's a difference between hubris and ego and false pride. It's just reminding yourself in quiet, silent moments. I put it down on a list. It's right beside my mirror, right? About all the things that make me who I am. Because I make enough mistakes, and the newspapers will recognize it, and people around me will recognize it, and they'll tear me down. And pretty soon I'll begin to believe it. I wrote a letter to myself. It was my own brag sheet, my own letter about the things I was proud of. Because there are moments, and we'll all experience them in our career, in our life, in our job hunting, in our relationships, when we are not feeling good about who and what and where we are. And I had to bring out that letter and read it time and time again for a period of about 2 weeks to weather me through that storm. It was important. Stop the self-talk, the negative self-talk. 2 ways to build self-confidence. One way that you can build self-confidence in others. We are coaches and educators. We are teachers. We are people who will create value in the world. And in doing that, we are critical by the nature of what we do. It's simple. Here's what they did. There was a study in Kansas that did this. They did video, and we all do video. And we showed the video of them doing the run of the play. This goal happened because the basket wasn't protected. We didn't rotate here right. We needed to do this and then to cover the slot. And if that's the baseline, improvement of the Kansas State team went like this. Then they said they ignored all of that, and they just showed them the times they did it right. The times they did it perfect, that presented no goals, spoke to the same points. Improvement went like that. It changed and revolutionized the way we as coaches interact with our student athletes. We can apply that to the business world. We can apply that to our student group works. We can apply that to our management teams easily. Catch them when they're good.
So in order to help yourself really have reasons to feel confident, not just put yourself in state, but to feel like you got reasons, all you've got to do is manage your memories better. Pull out some of your memories of tough situations in your life where you didn't think you could pull it off, but you turned it around. You have some of those, don't you? Situations where you thought, I could never figure a way to pull this off, and yet you did. You need to remember more of those and less of the times when you felt overwhelmed. What I want you to do is take out your success journal, and your assignment for today is simple. I want you to come up with 5 of your greatest successes in life.
Self-confident people interpret feedback the way they choose to. If I could give you one thing to take from this, it is, no one will believe in you unless you do. Listen to the words of that video. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes. We're supposed to be different, folks. And when people look at us, believe in yourself.
Key message. Without self-confidence, we are useless. There is no magic button. Repetition, repetition, repetition. We all have a negative self-talk in our minds. We need self-affirmations. Get away from people who will tear you down. Focus on the moments when you are at your best and build on that. Self-confident people interpret feedback the way they choose to. Focus on other people also, to contribute to their well-being, to learn what they lack to be confident. This builds self-confidence. What to keep in mind? You are the captain of your ship and the master of your faith. Practice, practice, practice. To build yourselves as diamonds, you need to put pressure on yourselves. Expose yourselves to situations so nothing can surprise you, and be persistent. Do not accept no. Remember what you are good at and use it to become better. Do not focus on the worst. Focus on the best. Take a pen and write what you are good at and remind yourself constantly, reading it. what you are good at and that you are amazing. Don't be negative to yourself. You need to reaffirm what you are good at constantly. Don't forget to look at others and what makes them lack confidence. Help them. Soon you will gain confidence for yourself. Here is to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs, and the square holes. We are all supposed to be different, and when people look at you, believe in yourself. Got feedback? We would love to hear from you. Drop us a message with your thoughts. Subscribe and check the bell icon for more great videos. This helps us a lot to make more great videos.